Tonight on CTV News at 5.
Cape Bretoners, Canadians, they're very loyal to Tim Hortons.
Donut debate. Now that the American chain is coming back to Canada, will Maritimers ditch their double-double for Dunkin Donuts?
You'll smell the difference. You'll feel the difference.
Good, clean business. Get into a lather with handcrafted all-natural soaps.
I've probably reached at least 6,000 here in my workshop.
And it's hammer time. A Nova Scotia man really nails it with his collection.
Some showers returning to the Maritimes this evening and tonight. Cloudier conditions expected tomorrow.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Penopalis. Thanks for joining us. First at 5 tonight, donut debate. You soon won't have to cross the border to get Dunkin Donuts now that the American chain has announced a Canadian comeback. So, are Maritimers willing to trade Timbits for Munchkins? As CTV's Ryan McDonald shows us, it stirred up quite a conversation and a potential coffee war. Ryan.
Maria, Canada runs on Dunkin'? To some, that might sound like a bit of a betrayal of sorts, especially in a place like here in Cape Breton, where Tim Hortons is such a big part of our cultural identity. There is a battle brewing for your hot beverage bucks.
Well, the donuts are pretty good. I liked them. But Tim Hortons is better.
I think I'm still going to stick with Tim Hortons.
I can't even tell you why. It's just a different flavor. I like the flavor.
Despite the claim from the big chain south of the border that Canada is about to run on Dunkin', coffee aficionados we spoke with outside the Tim Hortons in Membertou said they're sticking with what they know.
Cape Bretoners, Canadians, they're very loyal to Tim Hortons. As you see, it goes right to the NHL with Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, and so on.
I heard Marshy brings his teddy bear to every game.
Don't listen to them, Mr. Bear. They're just jealous.
Indeed, the Timmy's brand has been backed by some serious Canadian star power.
Justin, we know you've always loved Tim's.
Obsessed.
Then again, a Hollywood A-lister did the same for Dunks.
It's a great deal. A large coffee and a donut for $1. I mean, it's pretty cool. So I thought it'd be like authentic and meta. Yes, I'm doing the commercial, but am I doing the commercial?
I certainly do run on Dunkin'. I have probably 5 to 8 Dunkin' cold brews like this one every single week.
Dan Vasallo of Massachusetts might literally run on Dunkin', but when he and his New England teammates come to the Cabot Trail Relay Race later this month, they'll be switching brands for a weekend.
It'll be my second time ever having Timmy's.
But Vasallo is skeptical about Dunkin's chances up north, given what he saw when Tim's ventured stateside.
And nobody went there because there was always a Dunks next door. And it was, I feel like there's the same kind of loyalty to Tim's up there.
Obviously, Dunkin was here for a long time previously, and they packed up and left.
Retail analyst Bruce Winder says most Canadians barely noticed when Dunkin was here before, but it could be different this time.
They're looking at targeting consumers 13 to 35, more of a young, cool sort of crowd.
He adds that Tim's might now have a bit of vulnerability.
You know, there's a lot of sort of discussion on social media about potentially Tim's quality going down or their service going down.
Could you imagine if we did a birthday cake waffle Timbit?
So if Dunkin were to last up here, could they draw people in with some Canadian concoctions?
I think I could see them getting like a poutine type of donut.
And when it comes to the lukewarm feelings between the two countries these days?
It could be like a cultural handshake between, what we got down here and what they got up there.
Now here's a little known fact as per Bruce Winder. He says that Tim Hortons is actually owned by a private equity company based in Brazil called 3G Capital. Most people, of course, wouldn't know that, and even if they do now, they might quickly forget or perhaps simply not care. Winder says that most people, like it or not, will likely continue to see Tim Hortons as a Canadian brand, especially in this time of elbows up, so to speak. Maria?
Thank you, Ryan. That is a lot of coffee talk. CTV's Ryan McDonald in Membertou First Nation for us this evening. That actually brings us to tonight's web poll. We are asking, Tim Hortons or Dunkin Donuts? These are your options. Tim Hortons, Dunkin Donuts, neither. And your final option, I've never had Dunkin Donuts. Just go to ctvnewsatlantic.ca to weigh in and to see the latest poll results. And Todd, you'll notice we didn't add the option, I've never had Tim Hortons, because it's probably not an option in Canada.
Maria, this all sounds like a tempest in a teapot.
Ooh.
Or maybe a coffee
puns.
pot.
Yeah. Hot debate.
Hot debate. There
Brewing.
You go.
Yeah.
We'll see. They've been here before. Can they make it last this time? Yeah. Coming up at 6 o'clock, New Brunswick is hoping to make it easier to launch mining projects in the province. Legislation introduced today could simplify approval processes and would replace a current 41-year-old Mining Act. We'll hear from lawmakers tonight at 6. As we head into the warmer weather, last year's wildfires in Nova Scotia is still very top of mind. To help deal with them, the province has bought 4 fixed-wing water bombers and a coordination plane. Actually, they've been contracted by the province at a cost of $6.5 million. We'll get a look at them and find out exactly what their job will be in the newscast. Graduation time right around the corner. Year-end activities ramping up. One growing trend in the Maritime provinces is something called Senior Assassin. Maybe you've heard of it. It's a water gun elimination game that police say could come with risks. They're just wanting people to be aware. CTV's Stephanie Seacos has the details and reaction tonight at 6 o'clock. Okay, let's go to the CTV Weather Center. Kayla Mitchell standing by with a very tasty forecast and some...
No holes in this one.
No. And speaking of hot coffee, at least the temperatures are rising.
Yeah. Right. And a lot of sunshine across the Maritimes today, which I would say was a nice change of pace from how the region started off this week, which was some cloudy conditions and some pretty persistent rain around Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. New Brunswick didn't see as much of that rain, just more isolated showers. Temperatures right now around the Maritimes, if you're headed out for this evening, are mostly around the low to mid-teens, just a little bit milder. Across northern areas of New Brunswick right now, we have 17 at Miramichi and Doketown. In Prince Edward Islands, 15 at Summerside and 14 at Charlottetown. And then in Nova Scotia, 11 at Sydney, 13 at Halifax, a little bit cooler, 9 degrees at Yarmouth. Checking in on the winds around the region, a little bit variable in direction at the moment, but mostly lighter. They're being sustained between around 10 and 20 kilometers per hour. We're getting a few gusts reported between 30 and 40. The gusts that are around will continue to diminish as we make our way towards midnight, and then tomorrow's winds are going to be out of a southerly direction for the region. On radar and satellite, we've got some cloud cover increasing now around the southwest of Nova Scotia and the southwest of New Brunswick. That is going to be followed up by the return of some showers. We can actually see this band of showers as it's working its way up through the northeastern United States. So that'll be filling in this evening into both the southwest of New Brunswick and the southwest of Nova Scotia. Showers getting into a few parts of the other Maritimes moving through the night. More on the forecast later on. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin, and we will see you later on. Right now, though, time for a break. When we come back, this is what we've got for you.
Ever wonder how paintings can help firefighters? I'll tell you about it coming right up.
Well, if you love great tunes from the past, head over to the Sanctuary Arts Center in Dartmouth this Friday evening for Echoes from the Canyon.
It was John Chasson, fabulous bass player and singer, friend of mine for years, and he called me one day and said, would you be interested? And he and Edmund, the director, were talking about putting music together of Laurel Canyon era and how so many people came out of that, The Doors, Carole King, James Taylor.
The very talented Doris Mason seen here and many others will perform hits from the Eagles, the Beach Boys, the Mamas and the Papas, and so many more. The music and magic of Laurel Canyon starts at 8 p.m. Friday. Doors open at 7:30, and you can get tickets to the Sanctuary Arts Center website. It's going to be a great night for sure. All right, on to our next story here. Firefighters face a much higher rate of developing cancer than the average person, and a local artist was inspired to help in her own way. As CTV's Paul DeWitt shows us, she donates her work to raise awareness and funds.
Hi, my name is Jillian McClary, and I'm an artist. I've been doing painting, acrylic, and watercolor for about 4 years. I was a hairdresser, and during the pandemic, I started painting. And I was lucky enough to have an opportunity to sell my paintings in Peggy's Cove. I work with 14 artists at Hags on the Hill. I have my firefighter paintings available. I also do paintings of the lighthouse and jellyfish and boats, and I have prints and some originals there as well. Through my painting journey, I've been able to give back, and I realized how important painting is for connection and art and how it brings people together. In one of the opportunities, my friend, they own a company that helps firefighters with cancer prevention. So they asked me to paint a painting for an auction for a firefighter that passed away. His name was Billy Marr. And I was able to do a painting that was auctioned off to help his kids go to Disneyland. And when I brought the painting to the auction, the firemen and women that were there had a real emotional reaction to the painting. And it sparked a lot of inspiration to help give back to the community, and painted, I think, 6 or 7 paintings, which 2 of them are here. And those paintings ended up being in New York City. And we auctioned them off for another firefighter to help his family. These paintings I made into prints so that I could help connect Nova Scotia in the same way. So I go and donate the paintings to fallen firefighters and their families, and they're able to use them at an auction or hang them in their home as a memory. Showing that art can help community and bring connection has been really important. And firefighter cancer awareness and prevention has been a really big opportunity to kind of help with the community and give back to the people that are helping us so much. Creativity actually gives back more than I ever thought.
Jillian, you are so very talented and also very generous and kind. What a nice gesture, and I'm sure it means a lot to the families.
Yeah, helping out those fire departments.
So, a beautiful day today. Can't complain, Kaylin. I shot the garden guide today.
Good
As
day
per
to get
your
out and do it.
suggestion, and it was just glorious out there.
Yeah, we're looking at Paper Mill Lake here in Bedford for today. There's that blue sky above the blue waters of the lake, and things really starting to green up as well. I'll have more in the forecast coming up after break.
I work outside in the pouring rain when it's cold as ice, when I'm full of pain. It don't matter.
No, those are not giant potholes. Those are tiny tractors, if you're wondering. It's pothole season, and that means all hands on deck. Thankfully, Diggers Cafe in Truro has the right equipment for the job. They shared this video to their Facebook page this week, and as you can see, they put their remote controls to good use. Obviously, coffee and construction go hand in hand. It's hilarious, Caitlin.
Look at those tiny trucks working away there.
Yeah, they had good road work weather that day too. I see.
Yeah, no shortage of work for those tiny vehicles.
Never.
As well. Today would have been a good day to maybe doing a little work outside because we had a lot of sunshine around the region. We're looking at some blue skies here in the Bedford Basin in Nova Scotia. Yes, a little bit of a breezy wind to accompany the conditions. A lot of temperatures today in the Maritimes. As far as the highs went up to around the low to mid-teens for the region. We do have some showers though that are going to be returning to parts of the Maritimes as we head through this evening and tonight. And so we're going to be talking more about that as we get into the forecast here. Taking a look at our weather systems map, barometric pressure, it's about middle of the road, not sitting either too much towards being low pressure or high pressure, but those showers are moving in with a little bit of a warm front making its way through the northeastern United States. So as we take a look at things on radar, they're on the doorstep now of some of the southwesternmost parts of the Maritimes, so approaching areas like Grand Manan and Campobello, and shortly after that towards St. Stephen and McAdam. And then for Nova Scotia, first making an appearance this evening down around the Tri-County region, so Digby, Yarmouth, and Shelburne counties. Taking a look at our timeline then, this line or band of showers will continue to progress further into the Maritimes as we make our way through this evening and towards midnight. By midnight, there should be showers in the vicinity of Fredericton, some approaching Moncton in the southeast New Brunswick. Chance of a shower having moved through the Halifax area, maybe a few showers up towards Truro. And during the overnight, there will be a chance of a few of those showers reaching Prince Edward Island and parts of Cape Breton. First thing tomorrow morning, There are likely to be a few showers lingering in the north of New Brunswick before those head up and over the Gaspé Peninsula. And after that, during the day on Thursday, a good deal of cloud cover around the Maritimes. Now, not completely overcast. There may be some peaks of sunshine, some areas where it's maybe a bit more of a 50-50 mix of sun and cloud, and that include parts of Prince Edward Island, the southeast of New Brunswick, and eastern areas of Nova Scotia, including Cape Breton. Now, heading into Thursday evening and Thursday night, another low pressure system making its way past the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia is expected to return some rain and some showers to that province. It looks like it's going to be showery conditions in the west of Nova Scotia and the potential for rain Halifax and east in the province. Again, that's Thursday evening and Thursday night. Taking a look at winds in the forecast for tonight, by around midnight, mostly light and from the south, sustained 10 to 20 kilometers per hour. And tomorrow's winds south and southeast around the Maritimes. Mostly to the south for New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, eastern areas of Nova Scotia, a little bit more southeasterly for western areas of Nova Scotia. And there, a little bit more blustery as well, especially around the coastline where there could be some peak wind gusts around 40, 50 kilometers per hour. Low temperatures in the forecast for tonight won't be as cool as they were last night. Instead, they'll be in the range of around 5 to 8 degrees, 9 there for Digby. And here's a look at the high temperatures in the forecast for Thursday for the province of New Brunswick. They'll mostly be in the range around 16 to 20 degrees, a little bit cooler at Campbellton, close to 14 there, and 15 at Grand Manan. 18 degrees for Charlottetown and Summerside and Prince Edward Island for tomorrow. And most of the high temperatures for Nova Scotia will be around the mid to high teens, so maybe a little bit cooler on parts of the Atlantic coastline because there, that south and southeast wind will blow a little bit more directly onshore. So if you're right down on those coastal areas, the high temperatures tomorrow could be held between 12 and 15 degrees. Let's take a look at our weather watcher for tonight. And tonight's weather watcher is coming in. Oh, this is a nice one. This is coming in from 7-year-old Sophia Baker from Halifax, Nova Scotia. And Sophia has sent us a drawing of walking in the rain through some puddles and spotting a big rainbow. Thank you, Sophia. It's always a plus when we get to see some rainbows after some wet weather moves through. If you'd like to be one of our weather watchers, you can send them in to CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or you can email me at kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria.
Thank you very much, Kaylin. So Colleen Pace started making and selling natural soaps over a decade ago in Porters Lake, Nova Scotia. And now, as CTV's Mike Lamb shows us, her business bubble is expanding.
Soap in your mouth, I started this over 10 years ago. We make a lot of tallow soaps. We source our tallow from local farms. We render it down. It takes about 14 days. And then we turn it into soaps. Metabolically, it matches your skin. It contains natural glycerin, which is a humectant, so it's constantly drawing moisture to your skin. Our bath bombs, they don't contain any SLS. They're super good for your skin. They're extra virgin olive oil and Epsom salts. You can really notice a difference. Everything is made here in-house. We use Foot Family Farms for their beeswax, and we use Alton's Farm for their tallow. So we purchase tallow. This is a product that most farms were throwing away, and we're getting it all from Nova Scotia here. We have a store in Porters Lake. We absolutely love it. I run this business with my fiance and my 2 sons. I was looking for a place, and the community rallied up and was like, you have to go here. So I went there, and they are the ones that have been rallying for me and pushing me and have really made me feel that I can expand. When you're buying soap in a grocery store, it's made to seem like it's soap, but it's not. It's actually a detergent. What I'm also noticing is a lot of people are getting psoriasis, rosacea, eczema, dry skin, red blotches. This is what I think is coming from the sodium lauryl sulfate. So I don't use it in any of my tallow soaps. Our grand opening is June 6th. We do private birthday parties and workshops for making bath bombs. Soon I'll introduce like soap making as well. Please come down and check out our soaps. They last a really, really long time. You'll smell the difference, you'll feel the difference. They make you feel super amazing.
It looks good enough to eat. Absolutely beautiful and all natural. Soap in your mouth. You can look her up on social media if you're interested. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, though, we hope this story is a hit.
Hi, my name is Dale Penny from Pinehurst, Lunenburg County. Coming up at 5 o'clock and live at 5. I'll show you my hammer collection of 6,000.
A Nova Scotia man's collection hits the nail right on the head. CTV's Paul DeWitt takes us to Dale Penny's property, where the 81-year-old spends a lot of his time tooling around.
Hi, my name is Dale Penny. I live in Pinehurst, Nova Scotia, and I collect hammers for the last 35 years. I started collecting tools because I didn't want to see all these hammers thrown away. It was modernization, and I love cleaning up hammers and making handles. I've probably reached at least 6,000 here in my workshop. I enjoy doing it. My first hammer a friend gave me, and it needed a handle, and I fixed it up for him, and I kept on going. I have spent hours and hours cleaning up tools. Anything you see here with a new handle, I probably made it. Or one of my friends used to make them, and they're all gone now. Some people give me hammers, and I go to yard sales. I have friends pick them up for me. So it's a great hobby. It's 8 ounce, 12 ounce, 10 ounce, 20 ounce, 24 ounce. It's amazing how many different types of hammers there was out there. Well, I like the S-wing hammers. They got a leather handle. They're kind of, to me, they're the Cadillac of hammers. And this is a solid brass claw hammer. Pretty rare, it's the only one I got. Right. My wife used to call me Hammerhead. You never throw nothing away, you fix it and keep it. So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it, and I enjoy people. Some people can't believe what is here, because there are over 6,000 hammers here. I've had a few friends ask about Guinness World Record of collecting hammers. I don't know where I am. I'll have my niece look into it. She's a computer wizard. She can find out anything. If anybody wants to stop in and have a look at my collection, welcome to see them.
Amazing. That is 6,000 hammers. Okay, let's just call it a hammer museum. The unofficial hammer museum of Nova Scotia, Dale. You're amazing.
Got to be in the running for a world record there, I would imagine.
And everything's so neat and tidy and just looks amazing. Well done.
There are lots of times when I'm working in the Weather Center that I wish I had a hammer on standby just because the forecast not looking so great. Not this case, not in case for the long weekend coming up, and I'll tell you why coming up CTV News at 6.
We'll see you and Todd at 6. I'll see you tomorrow. The national news is next. Good night.